Namo namaste gurave mahatmane vimukta sangaya saduttamaya nityadvayananda rasasvarupine bhumne sada paradayam budhamne Namaste, Namaste, Vibho Vishwamurte. Namaste, Namaste, Chidanandamurte. Namaste, Namaste, Tapoyogagamya. Namaste, Namaste, Shrutijnanagamya. Swarajya samrajya vibhutiresha bhavat kripa shri mahima prasadat prapta maya shri gurave mahatmane namo namaste stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chinmahase Namaha Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate. Hari Om Tat Sat. So we are back to Taittiriya Brahmānandavallī. Let us start with the Shanti Mantra. Om Sahana Bhavatu
Om Sahana Bhavatu
Sahanau Bhunaktu
Sahanau Bhunaktu
Sahaviryam Karavavahai
Sahaviryam Karavavahai
Tejasvinavadhitamastu
Tejasvinavadhitamastu
Ma vidvishavahai
Ma vidvishavahai
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So we have done, I will just read out the portion we have done with a little explanation in some places. Now in the beginning, in the first chapter of the second section itself, they have spoken about what is the sadhana for and what is its ultimate outcome. After that, the whole Brahmānandavallī and Bhriguvallī also, it is a step-by-step process of how to discover our real identity, how to go within and get fused in our own real self. Now it is a step-by-step method which helps us to move from gross identity to subtle identity. Because our mind throughout life, whatever we have interacted with, whatever we have been thinking, our concepts, our interactions, our studies, everything is with the objective world. Now, suddenly to cross over the subject-object duality and get to the ultimate truth, there is difficulty because of the preconceived ideas, notions, and the experiences that we have. So in various places they give various methods helping us to overcome. So here actually in the Upanishad this Panchakosha Viveka is not so common, which they have taken in these two sections, Brahmānandavallī and Bhriguvalli. We will follow it and we will try to understand how that helps us to go within and identify with our real self. Now in this next section, which is called the Bhriguvalli, it is based on, they have taken the illustration of conversation between the Guru and Shishya, and where the Guru is the father and Shishya is the son. It is actually the Varuna Bhrigu Samvada. Bhrigu is the son who became a great rishi later on. You must have heard, all of you have heard of Bhrigu. And his father was Varuna. So Varuna, in the Bhriguvalli also the same things are, almost the same things are there, which we are studying here. So actually I don't have to explain everything, except where it is some difficult conception or difficult words are there, I will explain. Otherwise it is the same thing. Now the main thing is not to talk about the truth or to inform the truth. In Bhriguvalli, Varuna tells very clearly to Bhrigu that the Acharya or the Shastras, they can tell you the truth. The Acharya can show you, guide you the path, guide you on the path. But you have to do it. And this is a path, unless you purify your mind. Purify means get rid of the Bheda Buddhis. Bheda Buddhi means we are always having the Bheda Buddhi because of our Raga Dvesha, preference and prejudice. We cling to what we like and we hate what we dislike. That creates the Bheda Bhavana in us. So this differential notion we will not be able to get out of as long as we are not able to purify our mind by removing the Raga Dvesha and accepting everything as Brahman or Atma or my own self. We will do whatever to be done. We will kill people also if necessary. We will punish people if necessary. We will reward people if necessary. But not out of Raga Dvesha. By whatever to be done, we will do. This is the fundamental idea. So we must remember that the whole thing is to do it. So just by studying the Upanishad, unless we go on, and repeatedly there Varuna is telling Bhrigu that you go and practice, you go and meditate. What is the practice? It's very clearly written there. Concentration is the highest practice. It's in Brihadaranyaka also. So unless we do the practice ourselves, things will not get clarified. It has to become our own experiential discovery. Until then, it will remain theoretical. It will remain a second-hand knowledge received from the Shastras or received from the Guru. By repeated vichara, repeated rumination, repeated analysis, it has to become our own. So that is the part we have to do. The texts are only helping us to do, because when they put it in a very camouflaged in some illustration which is not easily understood and all. We have to put our effort, activate our intelligence and concentration to understand the text. By that, what happens is not that we are knowing the text, that is secondary. What happens is that our mind gets converged into the truth, converged towards the truth. So the mind gets purified, the mind gets focused, the mind becomes ekagra. That is the idea. That we should remember. Now from the second onwards. Om Brahma vidapnoti param tadesha bhyukta satyam jnanamanantam brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman soshnute sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipashchiteti. I have explained in great detail. Even then I am saying that here is the very fundamental statements are there. Brahmavid apnoti param. That why are we studying Brahma Vidya? Because one who knows Brahman, he attains the Supreme. He has nothing more to gain in life. As Bhagavad Gita says, Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tata. Yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. By gaining which, you will not think of any other gain in the world to be superior. By getting established in which, you will not be having any fear in the great fear or suffering in the greatest of calamities. You will not be vichal. Gurunapi dukkhena na vichalyate. So that is the first statement, Brahmavid apnoti param. This is what Swamiji has put in our logo. Below the picture, you will find there are 2 lines, and below that it is written, Brahmavid apnoti param. Because this is the fundamental statement. Why should we go for Brahma Vidya? Because this is the ultimate goal of human life. Tat esha abhyukta satyam jnanam anantam brahma. This I have explained in great detail. That to express Brahma with some characteristics, no expression is going to be perfect. But some expressions are there which will indicate through the words what we have to do with our mind and intellect, mind and intelligence. That is, no word, no concept can truly represent Brahman. But we have to reach that, we have to conceive of it, we have to apprehend Brahman. Now, how will we process our mind so that the same mind which cannot reach Brahman or express Brahman will be able to grasp? So, all the words expressing Brahman or representing Brahman, you will find they are opposite to our normal objective experiences. In this objective world, whatever our experiences are, they will be just opposite to that. For example, Satyam. Satyam means which never changes. Have we found anything in this world which never changes? Everything is getting born, changing and dying and getting destroyed. So when that Satyam is told, if we just take it as, oh, but Brahman is the truth, Satyam, ho gaya, that's done. No. We have to think that whatever we represent by truth here, it is the unchanging truth. Now, do we have anything, do you know of anything which is unchanging? We have to find out. This is the way the Shastras have to be read. Jnanam, all whatever we are studying is knowledge. We are studying physics, chemistry, mathematics, English, Bengali, what not. Everything is knowledge for us. So what is the jnanam they are saying? we have to, there the Shastras are helping us to get at the real truth. How to orient our mind. This jnanam is aparoksha jnanam. This is the neither the pratyaksha nor the paroksha. It is the advaya jnanam. It is the aparoksha jnanam, where there is subject-object division is not there. Do we know of any knowledge where subject-object division is not there? Everything, I am the subject, I am knowing the world. So that is the object. So we have to think that, who am I? If I know myself, then there is subject-object is getting fused. And what can it be? Then finally, to take it to that extent where we attain that unified subject-object non-dual state. That becomes our experience. So, jnanam means not ordinary knowledge. This is what we have to do with the Shastras. We need not read so much. Little bit, if we read and go on doing the manana on it, then we will be able to apprehend the truth. Anantam. Anantam means infinitude, infinity. Infinity we say. In science also infinity we say. Can anybody understand what is infinity? It is not easy. In mathematical series and all, by a description we can understand an infinity. But in real life, to think of infinitude, that means there is no limit at all. It is not easily understood. Suppose you are able to think of some infinity. That infinity is in the objective level. You are thinking of infinity. So you are different from the infinity. So that infinity is not real infinity. It is having a limit, that it is not crossing the limit and becoming the subject. And you are not becoming infinity. You get the point? So the infinity, when we are saying anantam, it is not the anantam in mathematics also we are dealing with. In mathematics, physics, anantam we are dealing with is an infinity in the objective level. Here infinity is beyond subject-object, where that subject-object difference also is not there. That is the real infinity. That is the real Purna. The Purnamada, Purnamidam. That there is no division between the subject and the object. They have all got fused into one, and it is not one, it is beyond one also. Because when we say one, there is again some limitation we are bringing in it. So, this simple statement, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that Brahma is represented by these three. Naturally, this will give us an idea, a process, a practice by which we can bring in the Brahma Vritti in us and slowly get fused into it. Now, about that also we have said that in many places it is Satyam Jnanam Anandam. Here Anantam is taken. Now, Ananda is always accompanying Ananta. Whenever our mind becomes infinite, there will be automatically, it will float in Ananda, will be oozing forth. Because why are we not getting the Ananda? Ananda is a natural property of our soul, of our inmost identity. Why are we not feeling that Ananda always? Because our mind is constricted. We are always small. That smallness is not allowing us to feel the Ananda. That is why in Chandogya it is said, Bhuma, that is a Bhuma, on everything on Bhuma. That Bhuma means which embraces all forms, everything, which means everything. He says, Bhumaiva Sukham, the real Sukha, the real Ananda comes from Bhuma, when we become all. Yovai Bhuma Tat Sukham. That Ananda we are saying, Ananda means what? Ananda, whenever we are saying, we have a feeling about Ananda, is it not? It's a emotion that we are talking, it's a feeling that we are talking about. You cannot explain Ananda in the objective plane. But it is always accompanying the infinitude of our identity. When the mind surpasses its constrictions, its limitations, its bondages, automatically our mind gets filled with Ananda. Whether we are in dukkha or sukha, Ananda will be there in both, dukkha, sukha. It might be a sukha state, it might be a dukkha state. It might be a very acute dukkha state also, then also Ananda will be there. So it is an Ananda. When we are saying Ananda, it is surpassing all Sukha Dukkha. It is beyond Sukha Dukkha. See how these words have to be understood. The Brahmaananda is not the usual Sukha. People get attracted that I want Sukha, everybody wants Sukha. If in the beginning it is told, no, it is not that kind of a Sukha. It is beyond Dukkha, Sukha. Everything, you will have dukkha also, but you will have Ananda. Many people may not get interested in that also. Because, oh no, I am interested in only sukha. Then you will not get it. So, the problem is, we have developed an attraction for Ananda, for sukha actually. In the world, whatever we are doing, if you ask anybody, from a child to the old man, whatever one is doing, it is only to become happy. We look for happiness. So, if we are looking for happiness and we say that you have Brahma Vidya, then you will get sukha. Then although we will take to Brahma Vidya, but our focus will be on that Anand, that Sukha, which is great, Sukha, bliss and all. That is why we find in meditation also, when in meditation we get the blissfulness, immediately we get caught by that. We progress no longer. In meditative state, we are having the blissfulness. After coming back from meditation, again it is gone. So it is not anything that is not changing. It is changeful. Only in meditation it is there. Outside the meditation it is not there. So what happens to the sadhak generally is that so far he was looking for sukha in the worldly praptis, worldly attainments. Now he starts looking for the sameness, looking for the sukha in meditation. So if you don't get the sukha, you will be in dukkha again. In the meditation, if it is not successful, you will be in dukkha, you will be in viraha. So it is better to put the satyam jnanam anantam brahma, because when you become ananta, automatically you get the ananda. It comes along with it. When you put Ananda, there is nothing wrong, but generally people will be misled to run after again Sukha there. Now, after that the statement, again it's a great statement. This first paragraph is full of all cardinal statements. Satyam jnanam anantam brahma. Yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. Yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. One who knows this Brahman, which is nihitam. Hita means which has been kept. And nihitam means nigudha. That means hidden. It has been hidden in the guha, in the cavern, in the cave. Now generally we say the hrit guha or buddhi guha. That is, when we approach through emotion, it is the hrit guha. That means when we discover, we feel, oh, I am that. And the buddhi guha also, when we approach to the manana and finally we discover, we feel, oh, I am that. They are not different. Hrit guha and buddhi guha are not the different. Both are guhas. But what is that? Parame vyoman. That is the supreme space. They have used the word vyoma. Vyoma we use for the objective space, the space-time space. Whereas here, when we go within to the deepest level of our personality, we discovered there the conscious space, the supreme space, which is conscious space. We call it Chit or Chidakasha. So that is the discovery we are supposed to make. Then what happens? Chidakasha means then there is no inside outside. Although we are going within to discover that, once we discovered that, where? In the Hridguha, means that is where the I remains, I. So that I becomes fused in that, gets completely lost in that, merged in that space. So there is no subject-object difference. So what happens there? So ashnute sarvan kaman saha. This is a very important statement. He attains all the desires, get fulfilled together. Now this one word they have added saha, which means together. In any objective fulfillment of any desire, it cannot be together. You fulfill one, then you go for the other, you fulfill that, you go for the third, you fulfill that. It will be sequential. Here, how is it that they are saying all your desires will be fulfilled? Should we not think about this? These are all extremely important. That is why I am saying these are each cardinal statements in this paragraph. He attains fulfills all the desires together. Because what happens is that he becomes desireless. When he discovers the truth, there is nothing other than himself. There is no otherliness. There is nothing. So what he will run after? What he will be afraid of? He will neither have bhaya, he will nor have attraction, repulsion. Because there is no second to have the desire for. That is how the desire fulfillment lies in the dropping of the desires, and that is how it becomes together. What happens is that desires completely, by that oneness, all the desires get completely become meaningless, they all fall off. So naturally all the kamas are fulfilled. It is not the objective fulfillment one after another like that. But he doesn't have any more desires. So they have indicated that you have to meditate, you have to concentrate, you have to go deep inside the personality, and what happens there is that after attaining that oneness, you will be freed of all desires. Yada sarve pramuchyante kama hridayasyeha no yada sarve pramuchyante not coming Kathopanishad athamatyo amrito bhavati asya atra brahma samashnute yada matyo pramuchyante कामायेस्य हृदिश्रिताः हृदि आश्रिताः कामाः सर्वे कामाः प्रमुच्यन्ते. When this is from Kathopanishad, when man cuts asunder all the desires residing in his hridaya, in his within, athamatyo amrito bhavati atra brahma samashnute. Then this mortal man becomes immortal here itself in this life when his body is still living, not after the body falls. Atra brahma samashnute, samyak ashnute. Here itself he attains Brahman very well. So everywhere it is spoken of in a different manner, that's all. Here it says that the desires, when you go beyond the desires, then you attain this. But when you attain this, the desires fall off. Both are same. So ashnute sarvan kaman saha, then brahmana vipasyate. How does he attain? By becoming Brahman. Through becoming Brahman, through becoming infinite, the real infinite Brahman, he fulfills, he goes beyond all the desires. And vipaschita also I explained in great detail. Vip means the oscillation, the fundamental rhythm, and cheta is coming from knowing. Then when he is pulsating with the fundamental law of nature, by becoming infinite, what will happen? He will pulsate with the fundamental law of nature. He will not have any more desire. That, as we say, that he becomes an instrument of God. That means he pulsates with the fundamental laws of nature, not out of desire. Whatever he does is natural. He doesn't do anything out of desire. He doesn't need the motivation of desire. As the trees are growing, as the flowers are blossoming, as the rain is coming, as the vapors are going up, everything like that, we also live our life, guided by nature. Now, after giving this fundamental truth, essence of the truth, it's beautiful. This actually we should take by heart, this portion. Then he goes on to various models. That is, he will go to the Pancha Kosha Tattva. Before that, how the world has come according to some model. These are all models. Om Brahma Vidapnoti Param Tadeshabhyukta Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipaschiteti Tasmadva etasmad Atmanah Akashas Sambhutah Akashat Vayuhu Vayoragnihi Agnerapah Adbhyah Prithvi Prithivya Oshadhayah Oshadhibhyo Annam Annat Purushah Tasmad va etasmad atmanah akashas sambhutah. He says that all these illustrations, if we remember one thing, then it will become clear that any quality or let us say quality which is not there in the cause, cannot be there in the effect. Now, the fundamental here is that the whole creation is appearing on consciousness. So the consciousness is you call it ultimate cause, it is not a material cause, it is only apparential cause. But let us say it is the cause. Now, this consciousness projects the space, projects the Vayuhu, atmosphere, projects energy, Agnihi, projects the water, then solid Prithvi, then on the Prithvi the life comes, the trees, plants, from there comes the annam, food. So what they are saying is that if that consciousness is projecting the sequence, that consciousness must be there in each. So when finally this annam, the whole sequence is giving the annam by which our body is growing, that anna must be containing a Chaitanya also. So when our body is growing through the seed which has been passed on by the parents, that seed is containing the Chaitanya. Now that seed is formed of food. So the food is actually Chaitanya-maya. But we are not able to understand, we are thinking that it is all jada. So what they are trying to do is to awaken us to the consciousness in everything, so that everything becomes an evolution from the consciousness, also an expression of consciousness, so that our mind gets stabilized in consciousness. So he says that etasmat atmanah akashas sambhutah. From this atma, space grows. Space is produced. Akashad vayuhu. From the space, atmosphere. Vayoragni. From vayu, from the atmosphere, fire. From the fire, apaha means water. From apaha, adbhyaha, prithvi, from that earth. Prithivya, oshadhayaha. From the earth, the various herbs. See, initially the earth must have been showing no life at all. It was all inert. But actually there must have been life hidden in it. And there must have been consciousness also hidden in it, because they are actually a projection of the consciousness. And as the life, what is it trying to do? The Brahman, by projecting the world through which it finally manifests itself. That is its sankalpa. So it is an evolutionary process working through the objective world projected by Brahman. So sometimes that prana, which we are now seeing, that the life forces, that life forces also must have been there in the jada, but it could not form the molecules in the manner so that it will express as life. It will express some natural movement, some life motions. So with the evolution, that evolution worked out by Brahman itself, at one time the Prithvi starts producing the oshadhaya from the herbs in it. And oshadhibhyo annam. From those herbs, food is prepared. So the food contains that Chaitanya seed, the food inside. Annat purushaha. That food is finally making the human body. Where from the human body has come? It's not coming from somewhere else. It is grown on it's a product of nature. It's a product of the world, earth. Sa va esha purushaha anna rasamayaha. So this purushaha, the human being, is anna rasamayaha. The broadly, whatever the gross personality we are seeing, it is actually the food is the sap in it. The food, it is made of food. And that food is distributed over the whole body. Every day we are taking food and we are digesting food. That food is becoming our own personality. We have two words they have used here also, anna and annada, annam and annada. Anna means food and annada means who takes food. Actually, the two are not different. Both are same. Why? As we are taking food and digesting food, we are the annada and the food is the anna. When our body dies, or even otherwise also, but mainly when the body dies, what happens to the body? Then the nature, the whatever materials that we were using as food, they use our body as the food. The earth uses our body as its food, and the aushadhis grow from there also. So it is a constant cycle going on the earth, where anna is getting converted into annada, and annada is getting converted into anna. So he says that this Purusha, who is anna rasamaya, who is made of the anna. Actually, they will say that it is called annamaya sharira. That they are going to introduce the panchakosha viveka. That means 5 sheaths. Why 5 sheaths? Like you can say the sword is kept in one after another cases, or you can say just as sheath, that you first think that my body personality is what I am. That is what we think generally always. So that is our focus, our identity is on the annamaya koshaha, what they are now describing. Our identity is the annamaya koshaha. Then they will say that in this annamaya kosha there is the prana, the life forces, which are also like the human being. We will come to that. So that is called the pranamaya kosha, which is much subtler than the annamaya kosha, and which is permeating all the anna everywhere in the body. So pranamaya kosha, when we change our focus from the annamaya kosha to pranamaya kosha, our mind is becoming subtle. This is where it is not so much of a knowledge. We are using the knowledge and the thinking and the vichara to transform our mind, to make the gross-oriented mind subtle. When we have to change the identity from the annamaya kosha to the pranamaya kosha, our mind, our intellect will have to become subtle. So he says this Purusha, he has the Shiraha, the head. I am Dakshinaha Paksha, this is the right hand, this is the left hand, Uttaraha Paksha. I am Atma, the trunk is called here the Atma. Idam Pucham Pratishtha, the tail which is giving the stability to the Annamaya Kosha. Tad api esha shloko bhavati. Then that is the shloka about it. Let us go to the next one, that is the second chapter. No? Those who know Bengali can go through the Taittiriya Upanishad interpretation by Srimad Anirvan. He was a great scholar as well as Anubhavi Sadhak, we say, who experiential Rishi. So there are various notes of enlightenment there. It's a little difficult and deep. Those who would like to go into it may go into it. It is available in the internet also, I think. Yes. but it is in Bengali. English, some translation is there, but I did not like it so much. Now, chapter 2. अन्नाद् वै प्रजाः प्रजायन्ते याः काश्च पृथिवीं श्रिताः अथो अन्नेनैव जीवन्ति अथ येनदपि यन्ति अन्ततः अन्नं हि भूतानां ज्येष्ठम् अन्नं हि भूतानां ज्येष्ठम् तस्मात् सर्वौषधमुच्यते सर्वं वै ते अन्नमाप्नुवन्ति ये अन्नं ब्रह्मोपासते. He says, Annad vai prajaha prajayante. That all that is growing, the lineage and everything, it is only through anna. The food is becoming everything. Whatever is existing on this Prithvi, yaha kaha cha prithivim shritaha ashritaha. Whatever is existing on this Prithvi, on this earth, everything is actually a product of anna. Annadvai prajaha prajayante. And they live by anna also. Atho anne naiva jivanti. They are living also by anna. They are born of anna, they are living by anna. Atha enadapi yanti antataha. And at the end what happens? They are going into anna also. See, generally we think of anna as a very non-changing inert entity or inert entity. Now here what is happening? The bodies are going from anna. They are producing other bodies. Then finally they are living by digesting anna. And finally at the end they are going into the anna also. They become the anna for the bodies become anna for the whatever we have taken as anna. So anna and annada, it's a cycle. There is no clear difference between anna and annada. You can think of the bacteria in our body also. It can be applied in many cases. It will give us quite a lot of insights. Annam hi bhutanam jeshtham. Jeyam jeshtham means the elder brother, eldest brother. That means the senior most. Because everything, all the bhutas, all the living beings are born of anna. So anna is the food, is the jeshtham of all the bhutas. Tasmat sarvaushadham uchyate. That is why anna is called the medicine for all. Because the anna is the cause of our life. We are born of anna. We are living on anna. So the aushadham, the medication, the medicine also, anna is the medicine for all the ailments we have. Sarvam vai te annam apnuvanti. And all they ultimately they attain anna only. Ye annam brahmopasate. One who does upasana of this anna as Brahman. Is it not Brahman? Because from the Brahman, as I said in the beginning, that the Akasha came, Akasha to this and this, finally anna came. So the Brahma is spread all over in the anna. So they are suggesting that you can do upasana for anna as the Brahman. And that has got various effects on our being. So doing anna as the Brahmopasana. Tasmat sarvaushadham uchyate. Annad bhutani jayante. All the bhutas are born of anna. Jatani annena baddhante. They are growing out of anna. Adyate atti cha bhutani. Adyate atti cha bhutani. See, this adyate iti annam, where from the anna word has come, the vyutpatti also they have given. Adyate iti anna, atti iti anna. That which is eaten is anna, and that which eats others also is anna. That is why it is called anna. Tasmad annam taduchyate iti. That is why it is called anna. Tasmad ba etasmad anna rasamayat. Now, after saying this anna as everything, that the Brahman is finally producing the objective world, creating the herbs and everything finally from the Panchabhuta, first creating the Panchabhuta, from there to the object, herbs and all, then through the food creating various living beings and all, then those living beings are again becoming the anna for the earth. And the earth is producing. It's a cycle. The annada becoming anna and the anna becoming annada. So everything is anna alone. That becomes the Brahman. Brahman, to worship Brahman as anna. Now they are coming to the next subtle kosha, that is pranamaya kosha. Tasmad va etasmad anna rasamayat tasmad va etasmad anna rasamayat anyontara atma pranamaya tenaisha purnaha sa va esha purusha vidhaeva tasya purusha vidhatam anvayam purusha vidhaha tasya prana eva shiraha. Now he is saying that this annamaya kosha, this annamaya body is full of prana. It is full of the life, vitality. And if you look at the pranamaya kosha, that the prana, the whole annamaya kosha, the annamaya body, the inner, the gross body, is permeated by prana. That pranamaya purushaha also is having the form of the annamaya purusha. That means in your mind, when you are trying to concentrate on the pranamaya purusha, it is also like the gross body you are thinking of. But it is subtle. If you concentrate on that, then you will find that the whole being is pulsating with life. You will not, the hands, legs, body, everything will be there, but you will not feel the grossness of everything, the separation of everything. A subtle life vibration will be felt everywhere. This will be the pranamaya purusha. But this annamaya purusha is full with this pranamaya purusha. And tasya prana eva shiraha. We have generally the pancha prana, prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana. Pancha prana model is there. Now that is also different in different places. Chandogya Upanishad, if I am correct, has got three, generally the model is based on three pranas. That is prana, apana and samana, I think, in Chandogya. In Rig Veda it is only two, prana and apana. That's the most important. Prana is the upward force and the apana is the downward. So here it is prana, vyana, apana, 3. Then akasha they have said that could be vyana also, 3 actually, like Chandogya. So they are conceiving of the Purusha as a bird. This is another Vedic concept. In the Homa, Yajna, etc., you will find that they design, some of the kundas are designed like birds, having pakshas, the, what do you call? Wings and tails and all that. We don't know exactly, I don't know. It could be that we like to identify with the birds, because after all the birds can fly. We are very much restricted by our gravity. And maybe earlier in the evolutionary process, from the birds had appeared on earth with the 2 wings and the tails and all. And with that they were flying. Maybe we also have the desire for flying and thinking of the prana as the prana Purusha can fly. That is very much common. It can happen. I used to regularly see dreams. One dream which I used to see very frequently, not now, about 2-3 years back also perhaps, at least earlier in young days, that in dream I am flying. And the experience is so real that I think even now I will be able to fly. That how to fly, not on a very high sky or so, but over the trees I am flying, floating. That was a very common dream. So unless there is an aspiration, or not aspiration, at least desire to be freed of the gravity which binds us to the grossness. So here also all the Purushas, the Pranamaya, Manomaya, they are all described as if it is a bird, like the aeroplane, having 2 wings and 1 tail. And the tail is given very much importance because it is the pratishtha, it keeps the balance, it holds us to the earth. So here he says that the 3, prana, apana, that prana of the life vital forces, which is called prana, which is in out from the head, that is the shiraha. That is very much. But the vyanaha they are calling dakshinaha pakshaha, is the right hand of that bird. Now vyana is generally that V, it has come from vyapti. Vyana has come from vyapti. So generally it is considered to be the vital force which spreads everywhere. But here the model is different, which I cannot explain unless I read other books and all where it has been explained, I cannot say. But generally vyana means which gives us the permeation and spreading of the life force. Here it is dakshinaha pakshaha, that is the right hand. Right hand is daksha also, it is right hand is daksha, means it does all the karma. Oh, that way it could be meaningful. That everything we do with the right hand, because right hand is more efficient, it is the efficient hand. So the vyana also, it helps in doing all the activities, performing all the activities. So from the karma orientation, vyana has its importance. Apana uttara pakshaha. The apana is the left hand of that pranamaya purusha. Akasha Atma. This Akasha we can perhaps compare with the Samana or Vyana. Something we can do. Atma means that is the trunk part of it. Prithivi Pucham Pratishtha. That the Prithivi is the tail. This I am not able to understand very well. I have to think a lot or read and think and to find out. Tadapi esha shloko bhavati. Then it goes over to the next shloka. There he will come to the pranamaya. Filling the pranamaya purushaha is the manomaya purushaha. Then he will go in the next shloka to filling the manomaya purushaha is the vijnanamaya purushaha. Then we will come to filling vijnanamaya purushaha is the anandamaya purushaha. Then from Anandamaya Purusha they will transcend to the Atma. This is the process. They have interpreted this Akasha, Shankaracharya has interpreted as Samana, the vital breath that helps digest food. Then the trunk as Prithvi. Is the trunk, and Prithvi, the deity supporting the body, that is as Udana. So although the names of Samana, Udana is not there, I think Shankaracharya has interpreted the Akasha as the Samana and Prithvi as the Udana. Then comes the third one. Pranam deva anuprananti manushya pashvascha ye prano hi bhutanam ayuhu tasmat sarvayusham uchyate tasmat sarvayusham uchyate sarvamevata ayuryanti ye pranam brahmopasate prano hi bhutanam ayuhu tasmat sarvayushamuchyata iti tasyaisha eva sharira atma yah purvasya tasmad va etasmat pranamayat anyontara atma manomayah. He says, Pranam Deva Anuprananti. Deva. Deva is from Div Dhatu, which means brilliance, those who have. It can be the gods, but generally in case of personality description, our Indriyas are the corresponding Devas. Each Indriya has got one Adhishthatri Devata. So, in Kathopanishad we have discussed in detail that each Indriya, that corresponding Deva they became egoistic. That I am seeing. So, he became egoistic about performing the work of seeing. I am tasting the tongue becomes egoistic about taste. Like that, each indriya is becoming egoistic about that I am the karta. So to teach them a lesson, Brahman appeared in front of them as a small blade of grass and he asked one after another. Agni came. He challenged Agni that you burn me off. Agni could not burn the blade of grass. Then Indra came with his lightning and all. You kill me. They could not do anything to the... Indra came later. Agni came, Vayu came to sweep off that blade of grass. They could not do anything. Then, like that, one after another, they got defeated. Finally, when Indra came, then Haimavati Devi appeared in the place of that and then gave the knowledge that this is only to teach that prana is the main deity, that without the prana nothing can be done. All the indriyas are functioning with the vitality, the life force. Without the life force, no indriya can function. So, pranam deva anuprananti. So all the devas, all the indriyas, they are doing their function. Prananti means they are doing their activities only with the help of this pranamaya sharira, this pranamaya purusha. Manushyaha pashavaschye. Even the human beings as well as the animals. Prano hi bhutanam ayuhu. Whatever the lifespan is there of the living beings, it is all because of the prana. Tasmat sarvayusham uchyate. That is why the prana is termed as sarvayusha. He is the ayuhu or everything. Sarvam evata ayuryanti. They live as long as the prana allows them. Ye pranam brahmopasate. Sarvam evata ayuryanti ye pranam brahmopasate. One who does upasana, worships prana as the Brahman, he gets all the ayush, the lifespan. Those who worship prana as Brahman attain the full span of life. What is the full span of life? Who will know? As long as we live. But those days, Shankaracharya has put here 100 years. Here he has written, the organs follow prana and that enables them to perform their respective duties. Whether they are organs of human beings or animals, the same principle holds good. Prana gives life to all living beings. This is why prana is called sarvayusham, the life of all living beings. Those who worship prana as Brahman attain the full span of life. Since all living beings get their life from prana, it is called sarvayusham, the life of all living beings. This prana is the indwelling self of the annamaya kosha, the sheath of food mentioned earlier. Next will be the manomaya kosha, that we will come. There is another subtle understanding there, that whatever is there in the individual self, in the cosmic level also it is so. That is, why? Because after all, the whole cosmos is our experience. What we know as cosmos is our experience. So the Aditya or the sun we know, unless that sun is projected in our consciousness, we will not know it. Whatever sun is projected in our consciousness, we know only that. So whatever appears as the whole universe, it is actually appearing in our consciousness, in the so-called within the body, we can say. Actually the body is part of that, it is not within the body in that sense. The whole universe, which contains our body, mind, personality also, is appearing in the consciousness. So there is no macrocosm and microcosm there. The whole thing is in oneness. So all our ideas will have to be modified, become subtle and refined. Om Sahana Vavatu
Om Sahana Vavatu
Sahano Bhunaktu
Sahano Bhunaktu
Sahaviryam Karavavahai
Sahaviryam Karavavahai
Tejasvinavadhitamastu
Tejasvinavadhitamastu
Ma vidvishavahai
Ma vidvishavahai
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Hari